Toronto does well. They did well tonight, and we certainly had a hard time with it. I think first and foremost they're rebounding. I thought we got hurt on the glass some. I think the other part of that was their activity on defense. We turned the ball over a little bit too much, and then I thought the other part of it was they have not been shooting a great percentage from the 3-point line, but I really felt like watching film, it was a matter of time for them, because in the games that I've watched, they really were generating pretty good looks, open looks, and ball just didn't really go in the basket for them very much. So tonight was a night I thought they shot the ball well, and most of their threes come from above the break, and then I think offensively for us. Thought we had a great first quarter, but I thought the second quarter, giving up 42 points, really kind of dug ourselves a hole coming into half. And again, we battled and fought. The guys did. I think it was maybe a 6-point game with relatively decent amount of time left in the game. So I think a lot of things for us defensively that we can look at, from rebounding to pick and roll coverage, to our transition defense, where we can continue to try to get better and improve.
Billy, you guys got it to 99-95 there, and then Russ lost the ball in transition, got stripped. You know what happened. That kind of sequence there where it kind of got away from you. I mean, turnovers are what they are, but Russ took the 2 threes. Were you guys looking for something maybe a little different?
Yeah, I think, Russ, this is what we're going through right now, and I think this is part of this team's growth is, every game you get guarded and you get defended a little bit differently. And I thought there was real opportunities for our bigs in pick and rolls and in certain situations to kind of slip into the pocket, slip into the middle of the floor, kind of be facilitators for our team. And we just didn't get there quick enough. And I think a lot of times our guards were left, having to create or make a decision with 2 on the ball. Russell had to call timeout one time. And I think that's just a connection that we've got to keep working on, because they were very, very aggressive in their pick and roll coverage with Russell. They were very aggressive in the pick and roll coverage with Victor. But our bigs need to get out. We need to find them in the middle, and then obviously look to play, disadvantage on the backside for us. And then I think what happened was, a couple times, we got caught into a situation where I thought we probably took too many threes, to be honest with you. With when you look at the percentage of threes that we took tonight in relationship to our total number of shots, it was probably a little bit too much. But I think this is something we've got to work on, as a team. And I thought in the first quarter, I thought our ball movement was great. But then I think as that second quarter went, we kind of bogged down. And I thought their pressure bothered us, just being honest. That second quarter, they got up after us. They pressured us. We turned it over quite a bit. And then we never really got back into a flow rhythm-wise offensively, and we probably settled for some too many threes. But I think some of that stuff with some of the shots that we did take, we just got to get our guards and bigs working a little bit more cohesively together, and recognizing what's open and what's available in those situations.
A couple of things. You mentioned the 42-point quarter because you got out to a really good start defensively. I think it's like 9-0, 12-0 run or something like that.
Yeah, but you know what, though? Like with that, if you go back and look at the film, the amount of bunnies and shots that they missed around the rim to start the game, we were very, very fortunate the game started the way it did, because they missed a lot of easy shots when the game started. I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
And also, it looked like every time Russ and your guards drove the lane, there was a lot of traffic in there. Is that just where you guys need?
Yeah, no, and I think that's what happened was, that's what I'm saying in terms of our movement, our spacing, and recognizing what the open areas are is something we've got to work on. And I think that's a point where, whether it was Russell posting or Ennis posting or Steven posting, outside of throwing the ball right back to the guy in front of them, we weren't spaced correctly enough on the backside. And the same thing happened in pick and rolls, same thing happened on post-up. They were really able to come off and help a great deal, and we never, ever created a situation where we could get the ball to the next side or to the open man to generate and create some open shots. We did it a few times, and we got some really, really good looks. Like I thought Russell came off a pick and roll one time, and they sent 2 guys to him, and he found Victor in the corner. It was kind of when we got on the run to try to get back in the game. Victor knocked down a 3. We did it a little bit, but we didn't do it consistently enough.
When they're driving Russell to the side and bringing over a second defender and trapping so aggressively on those sorts of plays, what's the best way to beat that if you're Russell?
Well, it's necessarily the way you have to beat it is with the pass. And I think what ended up happening was our bigs on some of them, like just they're trying to set the screen, you know, and then there's sometimes you got to recognize if your man's coming up that high, there's no reason to set a screen. You need to get out of it. And what happened was we held the screen a little bit too long. By the time we were trying to make a decision, the roll was too late happening, and then they were able to press back up to the perimeter where simultaneously you got to put that next help defender in difficult situations. Is he going to take the roll or is he going to take the guy at the top? And we never could get that organized correctly where we could make that read to either throw it to the big on the roll or throw it back to the top. And that's what I was talking about with Royce, is an area we got to get better at.
I'm also wondering, you mentioned that you thought you guys settled for some threes, took a few too many. Which threes? Because if they're collapsing in, obviously, intuitively, you've got guys open on the perimeter. So which ones in particular do you think you guys had back?
When I say, you know, the threes, I think that they were forcing us to take threes with the way they were playing defense and collapsing. I thought we had some opportunities, not necessarily that they were bad threes, but I thought we had some opportunities and some ball movement with guys flying at our shooters that we could have driven them. We needed to drive the ball a little bit more, you know, in our half court. But, you know, going back and looking at the film, I'll get a chance to look at, you know, all the three-point shots, but there was opportunities for us, I thought, to maybe get in the paint. I thought Russell really tried to attack and get in the lane, but there was so much of convergence on him. We've got to create an understanding of just where guys need to be in specific spots so we can take advantage of, you know, where the help was coming from. And I thought we struggled tonight to take advantage of where the help was coming from tonight.
Billy, the nature of DeRozan is that you can do some pretty good things defensively, and he still scores. What did you think you did? What kind of job did you think you guys did on him? And then what happened late? They had about a 10-2 run really late there.
Well, we trapped him quite a bit in the game, you know, just to get the ball of his hands. I think I said before the game, you know, he's really good in tight spaces there, and you got to take up his space. I really thought Andre did a really good job on him. You know, sometimes you got to tip your hat, and great offense can beat great defense. And he had that happen several times where, you know, he made some very, very difficult shots. I wish we didn't foul him as much as we did. I thought we fouled him too much. But I thought overall, I mean, he shot an extremely high percentage, but I thought that some of the shots he made were very, very difficult. I thought our guys gave, you know, pretty good effort on him. But we tried to trap him. We tried to do some different things. And you know, he's a hard guy because he certainly, I thought, found the open man and passed the ball very well.
In terms of just your
I thought you
rotations
forgot
there.
your question.
I did forget my question for a second. In terms of just bringing guys off the bench tonight, you switched up a little bit with Jeremy, going with Kyle before him. What went into that decision?
Well, I felt like Jeremy's a great defender and great length, and I think he's going to end up being a player for us that's going to be able to play small forward, power forward. I thought when Dre picked up those 2 fouls in the first quarter, I wanted to keep some length on DeRozan because from a rotation standpoint, he's generally playing the whole first quarter. I thought it'd be an opportunity. You know, we were up maybe 8 or 10 at that point in time. I thought it'd be an opportunity for Kyle to play him a little bit. And I thought he made a couple tough shots on Kyle. Like, I thought Kyle defended pretty well, but it was just really more trying to keep some length on him.
Anyone else for Coach? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.